calling the military seizure of power a direct assault on Myanmar's transition to democracy, U.S. President Joe Biden issued a stern warning to the country's military leaders: reverse course or face economic sanctions.
We removed sanctions, the United States, I should say, removed sanctions on Burma over the past decade based on progress toward democracy. The reversal of that progress will necessitate an immediate review of our sanctions laws and authorities, followed by appropriate action.
The White House is calling on the international community to pressure Myanmar's military to immediately release detained officials and relinquish the powers it seized. When Biden was vice president, Barack Obama became the first sitting U.S. president to visit Myanmar. He praised its steps toward democratic and economic reform. Strict U.S. sanctions against the country were lifted when Myanmar transitioned to civilian rule. But U.S. support for Myanmar's government began to sour because of its discrimination against Rohingya Muslims that included a denial of citizenship.
General Aziz Ahmed, head of the Bangladesh Army and the man appointed by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to defend the country. Our surveillance team follows the general to Malaysia and discover that he's also guarding his own secret. Waiting for him is his brother, Haris Ahmed. He's a convicted murderer and an international fugitive from a notorious Dhaka crime gang. Bangladesh police put him on their most wanted list. Another brother is also there. Joseph was on death row but freed after he was pardoned by President Abdul Hamid in 2018.
Okay. Oh my God.
We then track down the fourth Ahmed brother, Anis. As with Haris, he's on the run after fleeing a conviction for the same killing of a political activist, Mustafa Rahman, in Dhaka back in 1996. The men get a diplomatic escort from the Bangladesh High Commission. Their bond with Sheikh Hasina began when the brothers worked as her bodyguards in the 1990s.
Il est plein de sang,
regardez les pleins de sang, regardez, les pleins de sang, il est complètement fou, hein. Regardez les pleins de sang. Impressionnant, voilà, c'est lui, vous voyez, il a plein de sang sur les mains, il est complètement fou, hein.
The court proceedings have begun in Moscow, where the prosecution has demanded a 3.5-year jail term for Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny. In fact, we'll be going to Moscow and trying to connect with our correspondent Stuart Smith, who has been tracking this story for us. Now, remember, Navalny's team had asked for protesters to gather outside the Moscow prison. The court proceedings have begun, and we got these visuals just a few moments ago where protesters were detained by the Russian police. Remember, more than 5,000 people were detained by the Russian police on Sunday itself.
There are protesters coming out again today. They were called by Alexei Navalny, with his team retweeting, "No one except for you can save Alexei from the tyranny of Vladimir Putin if people don't come out today." And people have come out today, not nearly in the same scale that we saw over the weekends, because anyone who appears on the streets and seemingly cannot prove they are press are being asked why they are here and being either arrested or asked to move away.
A Black Lives Matter rally marched to a police station in Rochester, New York on Monday in protest over the pepper spraying of a 9-year-old girl. The same day, Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren ordered the immediate suspension of the police officers involved. In a message posted on Twitter, Warren said the suspensions would continue at a minimum until police complete an internal investigation of the incident. Neither the mayor nor the police department have clarified how many officers would be suspended. Police have said the officers involved were responding to a family disturbance call on Friday. In police body cam footage released after the incident, unnamed officers are seen wrestling a 9-year-old girl, who appears to be black, to the ground in the snow. The officers then handcuff her and struggle to put her in the back of the police car as the girl screams for her father, before pepper spraying her in the eyes.
Jacob Zuma today releasing a statement that he will not be cooperating with the State Capture Commission. This despite a decision by the Constitutional Court that he must do so. Now, Zuma maintains Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo is biased against him, and he wants to challenge Zondo's decision not to recuse himself as head of the commission. Zuma has also damned the justice system, comparing it to apartheid time.
No, I'm not sure it's a departure. It's simply the logical conclusion of the attitude that he's shown so far. Remember, he did walk out of the commission without permission, which is already a crime. It's an offence under the Commissions Act. So, although he's couched it differently, he has behaved actually simply in varying degrees of what he did today. And if you read the statement that he released, he's acting as though he's perfectly allowed to refuse to cooperate as well.
People arriving at My Aini refugee camp say they trekked for a day to reach here with only leaves to eat. But things got worse at the camp. This man didn't want to be identified.
There isn't any safety here.
How can I feel safe here? There's no safety here, because they are also here. There are many militias around the camp, all around the camp. If someone leaves the camp, they're there, and they kill them. They kill us.
The UN Refugee Agency chief visited the camp recently. People told him who they blame for the attacks.
They also spoke of infiltration of armed actors in the camps, of killings, abductions, and also some forced return to Eritrea at the hands of Eritrean forces present in the areas.
Now, Italy has relaxed COVID-19 restrictions in most of its regions on Monday, allowing greater freedom to travel and other non-essential activities. The government announced an easing of restrictions on Friday, even after repeated warnings from the World Health Organization. 16 regions are now under the lower-risk yellow category, while regions comprising Sicily, Sardinia, Puglia, Umbria and South Tyrol are still under orange category. Virus curbs have also eased across the Italian capital, with bars and restaurants allowed to operate for in-person dining till 6 p.m. local time.
This is one of the sites some 50 kilometers from Idlib city center. The Turkish government and various Turkish NGOs have been building these houses for the Syrian families. We're told each house costs around $1,000. Now, previously in these wet
and cold conditions. The Syrian families had been camping outside in the open, or in some cases in the tents that had been provided to them. But the Turkish government said that the conditions had been miserable, and now the condition has improved significantly. Now, so far in Idlib, around 25,000 of these houses have been constructed. The Turkish government plans to construct around 50,000 of these houses just in the Idlib province,